This is the first part of a four-part series on calculating square roots. This first part just touches on modern methods of computing square roots. I do it just for the sake of completeness. You're probably aware of them already. Part 2 will point you towards a book called The Trachtenberg Speed System of Basic Mathematics, which has a section on computing square roots very fast. The third part of this series is a method of calculating square roots on paper invented by Benjamin Franklin. And the fourth method is especially dear to my heart because my mother taught me it, and it's how to calculate square roots on paper, and it looks like a strange form of long division that gives you the next digit each and every time, and you can go as far back as many decimal digits as you want. So I always find these methods interesting and decided to make this four-part series. Welcome to Matharium, and let's get started. So just to let you know what a square root is, if you take a number and you times it by itself, you get another number. Let's just say that's y. So number times itself is y, or a number squared equals another number. And what that means is the square root of y equals x. And because square roots can be both positive or negative, it's actually plus or minus x. So for example, the square root of 25 is 5. It can also be negative 5. So often that's expressed as and that's because 5 times 5 equals 25, and also negative 5 times negative 5 equals 25. Remember, two negatives multiplied together become a positive. Now, as you know, just to cover a few basics of square roots, the square root of x is x to the 1/2, which is a thing that happens with exponents. If you take the square root of 0 squared, 0. So that means that the square root of 0 equals 0, because 0 times 0 is 0, obviously. All right, and if you take a number, remember this, if you take the square root of a number, it's plus and minus. So for example, the square root of 25 isn't just 5. Technically, it's minus 5 and plus 5. There's two square roots, okay? There's two square roots. So now, let's take a look at modern methods, modern in quotes, of calculating square roots. And if you know of any others, please put them in the comments. I'd be very interested to know. But just for the sake of completeness and because I have a really strange sense of humor, I'm going to show you the modern method of doing square roots, and that is, you guessed it, use a calculator. So I told my best friend about making this video, and I have to make a bit of an edit here. I said modern method is using a calculator. He goes, no, you use Google. I went, oh yeah, I used to do that. So you do something like this, and there's your answer. All right. And he goes, no, you talk to it. So, okay, let's do this again. I'll just do it here because why not? Here we go. What is the square root of 200? And there you go. I'm going to ask Google on my iPhone. What is the square root of 200?
Square root of 200 is 14.142.
So now I'm going to ask Siri. Hey Siri, what is the square root of 200? So here we see that Siri gives the answer, but it's to fewer decimal places. But there you go. That's pretty awesome. So I just had to add that when he pointed it out. Now he's like a generation younger than me. He's young enough to be my son. And yeah, he catches me on a lot of me being an old guy stuff. So that's my tribute to modern ways of finding square roots. If you're interested in learning some older methods where you had to do everything on paper, like in the days before calculators, take a look at the Trachtenberg Speed System of Basic Mathematics, which is in video right here.